Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning to you. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We have 17 watching currently, so I'm going to give it a few minutes for notifications to be sent out before we jump in. So let's welcome some friends here. Christy, hi. Romo is here. Lorraine, Kat. Prayers for you, Kat. And sweet little Ernie, who is now happy and running. And isn't it so hard, Rachel? Like we talk about this all the time. We love our pets. For me personally, a lot of times it's more difficult, and this makes me sound like a monster, but dealing with an animal over a human sometimes is more difficult for me.
It is for me as well.
Yeah.
Which you're talking to two people whose hearts absolutely bleed for animals.
Yes.
I mean, it's so difficult. So we are truly sorry for you. Pets are not ever just pets to us here, ever.
No. Anyway, prayers for you all. Mom texted me this morning and said that Dad is in Facebook jail, which is hysterical. I don't know how you all keep getting in Facebook jail.
Becca, have you ever been in Facebook jail?
No.
I've never been in Facebook jail either.
I have not.
I don't know how to get into Facebook jail.
I mean, it's not a place I really want to go.
No, me either.
Anyway, yeah, so we're going to have to try to figure that out over the next little bit. Hi from Michigan. Are you all getting snow? I'm curious because we are supposed to be getting some snow this weekend. We had 80-degree weather last weekend, and actually tomorrow the high is almost 70, and then we're supposed to get the most snow that we've had on Saturday, which is really funny. So is it just us or like other people getting, I don't know. It is difficult. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good morning, my sheep sister. Oh, Linda's saying good morning to everyone. Did this live just start? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. No, you have not missed anything. Okay, so what we are talking about today, a lot of you all already know about. If you are already into sublimation, then this is sort of repeats, but you all can weigh in and kind of give your opinion, what you like, what you don't like, what you've tried, what doesn't work for you. We would love that. Ask all the questions. That's what today is about. So we are talking about sublimation. And basically, this is everything that you should know before you get started with sublimation. First of all, there are all different sorts of sublimation printers. Let's talk about printers first. Actually, let's talk about what sublimation is first.
Love it.
If you do not know what sublimation is, sublimation uses ink that goes in a printer, and it prints out on a piece of paper, and you create a transfer, a sublimation transfer, and then it's a mirrored image. You flip it over onto your blank, which we'll talk about in a second. You apply heat to it, and it transfers the ink into the blank that you've used. It's really amazing. The ink becomes one with the fabric, so it doesn't set on top of it. If it's done properly and it is done on materials that it's compatible with, then it lasts longer than vinyl. You are not limited with colors because you can use all the colors that you want. You don't have to layer and do things like that you would have to do with vinyl. We're not saying vinyl is useless because of sublimation. Vinyl still has lots of great uses.
Because they're both limiting. Sublimation's limiting with the fabrics you can use, and vinyl or HTV is limiting for what you can put it on, and it doesn't last as long. There's definitely pros and cons to all of it.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
But sublimation has become really hot because it's relatively, if you do it the right way, it's relatively inexpensive to start up with sublimation, and you can turn a pretty penny with it really quickly if you know how to market yourself, know how to market your product, and you create really great products. Yeah. So sublimation printers, there are so many.
But now, can you use any old printer?
That's a great question. You cannot use any old printer. You can convert printers, which is what this is. This is a regular printer that we have converted. And the reason that we can convert it is because it has special ink cartridges in it, and it has a special system that is compatible with sublimation ink cartridges. Not all printers are this way. So look for printers, if you don't want to buy a straight up sublimation printer, look for printers that are compatible for conversion. The eco tanks are great for sublimation because you can just put the ink right into those tanks. A lot of the Epson printers are compatible with sublimation. But again, do your research. Make sure that you are choosing one that is compatible and that you're not just converting one, because it will be very sad that it does not work.
Terry said the Epson printer prices keep going up, so I don't see doing sublimation anytime soon.
No, you don't have to get an Epson. There are other options as well. When we got this printer, it was around $250. Is that right, Rachel?
Yeah, I think so.
They do go up. They come out with new ones in the same lines. Like this is, when we were at MGL, we used the 7120 and this is the 7720.
Yep.
And so they just keep coming out with different models. And when they do, the older ones get more expensive because they're in demand. It's the whole thing. So it's sort of just researching more and finding out what is good for you.
Yeah.
We personally went for this printer over a sublimation printer because of the size. It is huge. It takes up a lot of space in here. It is super flipping heavy, but we can print 13 by 19, up to 13 by 19. And a lot of the Sawgrass sublimation printers, which is a big name in sublimation, don't print that big. So we wanted the option to print really large. And so this is 8.5 by 11. Just to give you a reference, this is 13 by 19. Now, most sublimation printers will print up to 11 by 14, but still 13 by 19 is a really amazing size if you're doing larger hoodies, or if you're doing baby blankets, or even honestly, camp flags and things like that are, I think the last one I did was 19 or 20 inches. I can't remember.
The biggest regret I'm seeing in the comments is that they purchased a smaller printer first and regretted it,
Yes.
wanted a bigger one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing. I mean, when you're jumping into a new craft that you've never done, we totally get that you don't want to spend a ton of money on it, but it's one of those crafts that are really easy after the startup. And I would recommend going bigger out of the gate.
And a lot of times you're talking about a difference of maybe $100, which $100 is $100. Don't get me wrong. But when if you are purchasing to make a profit, if you're purchasing with your business, then it is a tax write-off. It's worth waiting a couple extra months to save that other $100 before you do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I do have a question.
Yes.
If you find your thought.
No, you go ahead.
Miss Becky says, is it easy to get those ink cartridges? I hear you have to get a new chip every time you add ink. Is that true?
It depends on what printer you have. Our other printer, we were able to find cartridges that had a chip on it that was reusable. For whatever reason, I have not been able to find chips that are reusable for these, and it could be because of COVID. Like all of these things, I think are contingent on or held up because of production issues. Because this printer honestly is basically the exact same printer. Anyway, we don't have any trouble finding these with the one-time use chips. The other thing that you can do is remove the chips from ones that are reusable and place them on here. I'm trying to think of how many times. We just don't use that much ink, and we print a lot. So it's very interesting to me. These apparently, the way the chips work, and this machine, now this is not all machines, this is this machine. The way the chips work, it doesn't notify you when you are almost out of ink. So you need to keep an eye on it. And I haven't tried it out yet because we're not even close to being low on ink. I want to add ink to it before it goes dry to see if we can trick it, because in my head it doesn't make sense why we couldn't trick it. If it's not actually counting and notifying you, I don't know why. And if you know why, then let me know. But I think what we can do is just add ink to it before it goes dry and see. We'll let you know.
I've been writing questions down.
Great, that's amazing.
Just in case.
That's phenomenal.
Because I don't want to miss any for sure. Does the heat press size matter, Becca, when using sublimation?
It depends. Most of the time it does. There are some materials that you can overlap. You want the bigger heat press, the better. But you want some materials, like I said, when you overlap, you get a shadowing. Others do not. It's very interesting to me. I would for sure do some test runs on the different fabrics, different blanks that you're using. before you do like a large one, because it just depends. Like our baby blanket that we did, that was a nice fuzzy 100% polyester blanket. When we overlapped, it was no big deal at all.
Yeah. You can overlap and have success with it for sure.
However, I've done a flag and overlapped on the flag, and where I overlapped, it had shadowing. So it just depends. That's a great question. Was there another question? Or
yeah. Does the ink go bad? Because of course some people hear about it. What do they say? 6 months?
They say 6 months. However, we have never had ink go bad. We had some sitting for over a year and refilled, and it was still great. It was not a big deal. So let's talk about inks really quickly while we're kind of on that subject. Like I said, you are going to need some ink cartridges, and I'll show you all, if you want to, I'll show you all how to fill one of these. It's very easy. I'm not going to do all of them, but I'll do one of them for you. Our experience with sublimation ink is that we have not found one that was like, oh my gosh, this one is so much better than all the others. They seem to all be just comparable. They are, it's more the printer than the ink, in my opinion. And color dispersion, color contrast, like all of those things are more dependent on your printer and the settings for that than the ink, in my opinion. However, we have tried InkX Pro ink. It's very good. We like it. We just recently got this StarCraft, primarily because we order from 143. They carry it. We also get a little kickback with affiliate links, like that type of thing. So we wanted to try it. I've heard great things about it. So that's what I have here. So when you get the ink, it comes with these little syringes and a little piece, and I'll show you overhead in just a little bit. That's sort of like a needle that goes on the end, and then you'll extract the ink, place it in here, shake it up, put it in there. So converting a printer, let's talk about that really quickly. We get lots of questions about how to convert a printer, and each printer is different, so I can't really do like a broad video showing you how to convert a printer. I'll tell you how easy it was to do ours though. We took it out of the box. And when we took it out of the box, it didn't have ink in it. So when you open this, there's a little place over here for ink. The cartridges were not in it. It came with ink cartridges that were regular ink cartridges. Do not put those in the printer if you're getting this printer. All you have to do is fill your cartridges that you got for sublimation, place them in instead, close it down. You'll probably get an alert that says something about these cartridges are not Epson certified or something. This is not verbatim. Do you want to continue? You push yes. That's it. That's all we had to do. Yes.
Linda said, if you use one brand of ink, can you switch and use another ink brand without a problem? I have an Eco Tank, she says.
Yeah, we have done that and have not had an issue at all.
Good question though.
Great question. Yeah. Anyway, it was that easy to do ours. Now, if we had used this printer as a printer and then wanted to convert it, it's a little more complex. I haven't personally done that because I didn't want to deal with it, but you have to remove all of the other ink from your printer. So from the lines and all of that, before you install this. So it's a lot of like print head cleaning, flushing it. Yes.
Definitely doable. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So converting this kind of printer is no big deal. Now you do get printers where there are systems like put this tube here and do this, and it's like an external ink system that kind of sets out and you put your ink in there. That's more complex. Again, we've elected to use this machine because it is so easy. Are there any questions about any of that before I move on?
Are most printers wireless? So if the craft room was in a different room and our friend was in the other room, could she print from anywhere?
Nowadays, yes, most of them are. I actually haven't bought a printer in the last 10 years that was not wireless. So correct me if I'm wrong. The Sawgrass that we had was wireless. This is wireless. All of the Canons have been wireless.
Yeah. I think it's pretty standard on most printers now.
I think so too, yeah.
And then is there a shelf life on the prints before you use them?
That's a great question too. I actually did a little test on this. There's varying opinions about how long you should leave or use it. I left mine for almost a month, printed it out, left it out for almost a month, and put it on a tumbler. It looked exactly like the other ones. I didn't have an issue with that. Obviously, you don't want to put it somewhere that it's going to be like in the sun and fade or get wet or damp or something like that. But just like in our craft room, which was totally fine, we didn't have any issues. That's a great question, though.
Miss Jessica said, do color profiles affect how vibrant the image will be once it transfers to the material? She said, I've had images look vibrant, but once transferred, it wasn't vibrant.
Yes, it does affect.
Yeah.
For
Also,
sure.
your heat does. If you don't have
Heat and pressure.
If you don't have it heated high enough, or if your material you're using is more cotton than polyester,
It affects it.
It will affect it.
The color of your blank will affect it. For instance, you're going to get the best, most vibrant color out of white. You can do other things on light colors and you'll get a good result, but it will never be as good. Like for instance, if I wanted to do a light heathered gray, I could do that and it would show up, it just wouldn't be as vibrant. So let's talk about that for a second. I'm not going to be able to use this printer to sublimate on black. Can't do it.
Just like you wouldn't print on black paper on a normal printer.
It absorbs, you can't see it. It's all the colors. It's not going to stand out. It's not direct to garment dye. It is sublimation. So it won't work. Now there are, I'm told, sublimation printers with white ink. I've not looked into this at all. I don't know if there's like a layer that you do and then it kind of goes on top of that. But for this video and what we're talking about in this specific printer, you can't do it. You can't sublimate on black.
And Miss Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
She says, so the first time you used this, did you have to flush out the tank with the cartridges?
I did not, because the cartridges were never installed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great question. I did not.
And then what specific printer is this Epson, Becca?
This is the Workforce 7740. There's so many numbers.
7840, I think.
78.
I think. 7840.
Yeah. It's all the way over there. I can't see it, but it is 7840. I thought I saw another question. Hold on just a second. Oh, does this only, something about porous materials. Do you have to use only non-porous materials? You have to use materials that are polyester or poly-coated. So 100% polyester fabrics are going to be the best. If you get a mug or a tumbler or a keychain or something like that, then it needs to have a poly coating on it. Now, you can take materials that are not marketed for sublimation and sometimes put like a polyurethane coating on it, for instance, wood. You can do that with, you can use 100% cotton shirts and there is a poly spray. It doesn't work as well. I've tested it and tested it and tested it. But that is an option.
If you hate 100% polyester, we understand. Just do a blend that has mostly polyester in it, like 65% is about the lowest you want to go. And then after the first wash, your image will be faded a little bit just because it's not 100% polyester. But you cannot go to the Dollar Tree or to Walmart, grab a mug and have this be successful. It does have to have a special coating, like Becca said.
I had a friend that had the Epson with cartridges and she used as a regular print. Then she decided to change it to sublimation. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. It just takes a little bit more time and patience and cleaning out those lines, but you can absolutely do that. Yes, that's great, Miss Mary. Any printer that uses a thermal print process cannot be used as a sublimation printer. That's true.
And Becca, you did some sublimating on laminate sheets. This question is kind of like that. She said, what about clear Caesar HTV? Can you sublimate on that? I have no idea.
You can sublimate on like white glitter HTV.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in just a second. You can use easy subli, then sublimate on top. Belle, you can. I have tried it and I still don't love it. It's just not... If you've tried it and loved it, then that's fantastic. Maybe, I don't know. I've done several tests on it and I just don't love it as much.
Yeah. And Miss Debbie, we bought empty cartridges specifically for
yes, they look like this.
Yeah. We did not use the cartridges that came with the Epson for any reason at all.
So the glitter HTV, here's my thought. If I'm going to use glitter HTV to put on my shirt and then sublimate on top of that, why not just use printable heat transfer vinyl? It's one process.
Yeah.
I'm not having to like layer it on top and
I have questions about several crafts we see that get popular. It feels like there's too many steps.
It's a fun hack, but why?
Yeah.
Why? For one reason, glitter HTV, it's thick. I don't like the way it feels on my shirts. It peels off. If you use printable heat transfer vinyl, the one that we use, I'm not saying all of them, the new fun printable heat transfer vinyl that we use, if you print it out, use a heat press with enough pressure on it, you can almost not feel it. So that's just my thought. I don't know about on clear vinyl though. That's a great question. I don't think so because I think the glitter has a special coating on it that regular vinyl does not. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Miss Lorraine says, Becca, how long have you had that printer and how many times have you had to refill the ink?
This one we bought when we opened the studio in October and we've never refilled the ink. Let me see if I can get it to open and I'll show you how much ink is left in there. Hold on. I don't want to close it. I've got to remember how to get it to work.
It's heavy.
So heavy. I have to remember what the setting is because this little thingy comes over and then you can pop it up. I mean, I could force it over, but I don't really want to break it on the camera.
No. That's definitely something to do.
Yeah.
In private.
Let's see here. Supply status, printers, maintenance. Okay. Now, and here's the other thing. I'm told that it doesn't alert when the ink is low. However, if I look at the status here, I think it's giving pretty accurate. That's interesting. Pretty accurate ink levels. Okay. Here he goes. Open up. There we go. So this one's about half, and that's what it said was half. So we did it in October. So what, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months of use, and it still has half the ink. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and fill these.
Okay. I'll switch it to the overhead camera.
Okay.
And we have 2 questions about ink anyways, which is good.
Okay.
Number 1 is, how can we tell if the ink we bought is not a good sublimation ink?
I think you'll just know. I think if you sublimate and you don't love the colors, the longevity, and you're using it with products that are 100% polyester and used for sublimation, then it's probably pretty safe. Although I've never heard anyone say, I don't like this ink. This is terrible sublimation ink. I've never heard that. I'm putting gloves on.
Kind of on the same topic, do you have any tips for people that are experiencing colors printing off?
I would suggest looking up your specific printer model and looking up color correction and color profiles and all of that stuff. Ours, we've never had any issues with ours. However, I've had members who message me asking about that, and just doing a quick Google search for your specific printer, because again, I'm no printer expert by any means. I know about my printer, but I don't know about yours. So just doing a quick Google search or finding a forum on your specific printer with that questionnaire is really beneficial. But yes, it does affect that. So this is how they come. Just gonna put this on right here. And then, look, this pink really isn't that low. I'll fill them up, but it's really not low. Black is the only one that's questionable. I guess that's what we use the most.
I don't know how much to put in there. Or do you just fill it up?
You fill it up. It will come out of the hole. So this right here.
Oh, I see.
Put this over here to the side so it doesn't get everywhere. You put it in right here, and then once it gets full enough, you'll see the ink right there. Okay.
Becca's going to perform some surgery.
Now, you could take this off. I'm just going to stab this through here, though, so that it doesn't make a massive mess. And then, nope, I'm not either. It won't let me. I need to get further down. I thought I wasn't going to make a massive mess. Oh. I hate taking stuff like this off.
I know. And it's ink, too, so.
Yeah.
going to get everywhere.
Rach, you stole my paper towels.
Oh, no. You want them?
You knew I needed them.
I did.
I have these gloves on and I can't get the flipping thing off. Thank you, Rachel.
Absolutely.
You're so good to me.
Bringing you paper towels.
Oh. I kept thinking, I'm going to have to take these off. Everything that I've just done, I'm going to have to undo here. It doesn't want to come off. It's really nice.
It's a true control knife and just
Cut it out, yeah.
cut it out.
These are some great questions that you were all asking, though. I love this.
And I have another one, but I think it's more, it needs to be addressed a little bit later.
Okay.
And it's about like all the startup costs and what we recommend the startup, like how much money you need to set aside. And I don't know if you want to like explain the ink filling process first, but
Yeah, we'll do that. Also, if you are interested in the supplies that we're using, we have linked the entire Amazon list for sublimation that we love. So check that out. It has every single thing that you see on this table. It doesn't have the StarCraft sublimation ink. It has the Ink X Pro, which is the other one that we use. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so we just have filled this up. We're going to put this right in here. And I don't know if you can tell or not. I'm going to try to do it sideways, but I can't do it completely sideways or else I won't be able to fill it up. I think it usually takes, on an empty one, it takes 2 full syringes.
okay. Good to know.
That's actually, I'm not going to go any more than that. That's good. And then you place this back on here. And I put my finger right here and here, and then you shake this up. And the reason that you shake it, I don't know if you, in here you can probably see. See, there's like little different chambers and things like that in here.
Yeah.
Shaking it up helps it get in all those chambers. Make sure your finger is also right here because you don't want ink to go out any of those holes. You're going to shake it up. And then they say to let it set for 30 minutes before you put it in your printer. I don't do that. I'm just telling you what they say to do.
We're giving you the directions, but we're not going to follow them.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't had any issues.
Yeah.
Haven't had any issues. Okay, let's do this next one. If you guys want to see me struggle through all of these. This lid looks interesting. Oh, wow, I'm an idiot. Again, I haven't used this before. So this comes off, makes it easier. So once you get that off, you put this thing right here back on, and then you can put your syringe straight in that, and it's like not as messy because it has this gasket type thing to prevent it from coming out. That's nice.
They've thought of everything.
They have. So let me take my gloves off and take all of these off really quickly.
Melissa said Becca keeping it real. Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you everything they say to do, but a lot of times I'm like, why? If that doesn't make sense, why am I doing that? You know?
Becca, where did you get these ink cartridges?
Hold on just a second. Let me look really quickly. I have it here, or I thought I did.
Jen said, it's like Becca using alcohol. Not necessary. Yeah.
Sublimation ink cartridge refillable. These, I'll link it right here for you. Okay. Well, yes, that's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
It's like Anna not waiting on the mat. You just,
yeah. What a debate that was.
Right? I mean, I'll never agree with that. But
Me either.
other people have.
Yeah. And that's fine. They're just wrong, but that's fine.
Oh my. We're going to lose some followers today.
Hey.
Speaking of followers, did you all notice that we hit over 5,000 subscribers last night?
We did.
You all are amazing. Okay. I'm going to
Shirley said, I know they recommend waiting 24 hours before using the ink once new ink is put into the tank to make sure there are no bubbles in it.
24?
That's a long time. What if you're an eager beaver? Or you're impatient
24.
like me?
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I use it immediately, to be 100% honest.
And she's still trucking.
I think they just cover their butts with things
That's
like
what
that.
I said. Yeah. I think so.
It's a suggestion.
Still with Anna on the weeding. Jenny, you know, that's fine. I joke around, but I did mean it in the live. You know, it doesn't matter how you run the race as long as you get to the finish line. Even though I still feel like if you hate weeding on the mat, it's because you haven't done it properly. Just like me, I used to hate vinyl because it was horrible.
Yeah.
And then you figure out like the best process and you're like, this actually is pretty enjoyable. I just think, or using reverse tweezers. Some people hate reverse tweezers. I just think you ain't using them right. That's what I think. But again, it doesn't have to be my way or the highway. We're all crafters.
The only thing I agree with, the ATG gun, we have lots of friends who don't have the ATG gun. Most of them are left-handed crafters, though.
See, that's so sad.
It is sad. And I can see how that would be an issue.
They definitely need to make one for left-handed. I mean, I know the population of left-handed people is a lot smaller, but still there's a market for it.
They're real people, too.
They are real people, too.
Okay. Glove back up here. I really like these Rach over the Ink X Pro because remember our Ink X Pro somehow leaked everywhere and we remember that whole box I had to just throw away.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about these lids to see if they do make a difference.
Well, we also had them like upside down in the corner of a.
Well, we lost them for a while too, if we're being 100% honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happens. Our life was a little crazy for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get this out here. While I do this, because it'll be just a second, are there any other questions that we can chat about?
There's some fun comments.
Let's hear them.
There's some lefties that are here. Lefty, I understand. And Melissa, I love weeding on the mat. I could not exist without my ATG gun. That is a bold statement.
Oh, yeah.
And we understand.
It's a passionate paper crafter.
That is. Yeah.
Whoop,
I have two lefties in my house. Wow.
I overfilled here.
Oh, she was full.
Yeah. No big deal.
Suck some of it out.
Well, I'm just going to absorb it.
Okay.
We'll absorb it. Just like that.
Yeah, lots of lefties.
Put our little plungy back in. Stopper, plunger, whatever you want to call it.
One of my really good friends growing up in school was a lefty, and she would have the ink always on the side of her hand because she would write like that. Yeah. And I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm just trying
I'm existing.
to write.
I'm existing."
Yeah. My sister thinks my little niece Juliet's going to be a lefty.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love that. Beckett, we couldn't tell for forever because he does everything he's sort of ambidextrous.
Okay, yeah.
It took us forever to figure out, which he bats left-handed, but he throws and writes right-handed, but he'll eat with both. It's very interesting.
See, that's weird. And then you gotta think about, you gotta have it into play is your eye dominance, especially with sports.
Yes.
I'm left eye dominant, but right-handed.
Really?
So I have to play all sports left-handed. Like when I play pool, left-handed. I mean, I have to do all that left-handed because my eye, it's my left eye, that's my dominant eye. It's the weirdest thing, but I'm right-handed.
Rachel.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Okay, we've got two more here, and as you can see, I mean, this is actually kind of fun. It can be messy, but it's a little bit fun. I'm not going to put as much in this one because it doesn't look, very empty. Apparently, we don't like yellow very much. Okay.
Well, I like yellow. Becca sublimates a whole lot more than I do, though.
No. I hated yellow for a while. I like mustard yellow. I don't like bright yellow. Not a fan.
Becca, do you need to change she says metal tiles, but the chips on the cartridges every time you refill them?
That's what we're figuring out.
This is a test.
They say that once it's empty, that you have to replace it. It won't register. We're going to test and let you know on this particular printer. It won't be today. It'll be in a few months when we have emptied. And we'll let you know. We're hoping to cheat the system, although I don't know that it can be done. We'll let you know.
I feel like other people have.
There are chips that do not have to be replaced. They're reusable. This particular one is not. You're going to pay more. If you find them that are compatible with your printer that are reusable, then you're going to pay more for them. Obviously, it's worth it because you're not having to replace them. Here's the last one, and it almost needs none. Again, this is the first time we've replaced any of the ink since October.
And it doesn't need to be replaced.
No, this one might need...
She's just topping them off.
This one might need like a fourth of this. We'll see.
We've got some haters on this process.
On what?
This. They're so glad they got the eco tank so they don't have to do this. And I'm like,
this is like it's once a year.
This isn't bad.
Yeah.
But you all do you.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Fine. Yeah. I love that you love your eco tanks. Becca's having a grand time over there.
This is amazing. So fun.
Having a great day.
I can't get the lid off. Oh. My kids are at home today with my husband.
Do you want to tell Fallon about our chimichanga that wasn't really even a chimichanga?
Dear gosh. Fallon was having an emotional day yesterday. So my dad picked Becca up to take him and do some fun baseball stuff with him. And Fallon would make the worst single child or only child ever in the entire world. She just sat there and said, I don't know what to do. What should I do? I don't know what to do. And then she was like, I don't know why I'm so sad.
Oh, I love her.
And I was like, I gave her some things to do and gave her some ideas of some fun things. Like we offered to take her to do some fun things. She didn't want to do them. And then it just got annoying to me that she kept saying that. So I said, you know what, Betty? You know what you can do? You can go in the hallway and clean up Becca's mess that he left. That's something you can do. I don't like to clean, but you asked, so go do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So then she comes back and she sits there and she's looking all pitiful. And I was like, is it clean? She was like, yeah. I said, are you looking for something else to do? She's like, no, I don't like cleaning rooms.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I thought you might find something to do all by yourself.
Yes.
Anyway, we had gone to a Mexican restaurant the night before, and she had a tiny bit of rice and beans, and Wayne put it in his to-go container, and Fallon went to look for it yesterday, and Wayne had eaten it yesterday for lunch, and I mean, she came unglued. I had to take a video. She didn't know I was videoing.
She came unglued about some rice and beans, but she said it was a chimichanga.
She thought it was the whole chimichanga.
And she said, I was saving it for later. I'm telling you what.
She is something else.
I got the biggest kick out of fallow.
Okay, now all we do is close this guy down. Close this. Well, it says printer error, so now we're going to restart it. And then we would print. Super easy. I recommend storing your ink and little things like this.
I have it on you now, so the paper towels are in the way.
I hope you're getting a really good view.
They can't see what you're doing. The bottom pops off of that.
I recommend storing it in something like this. You want it upright. You don't want it falling over. And then we just hang this on the inside drawer of our tool, not caddy. What's this? Toolbox.
Yeah. Do you have to use the same brand of ink when you refill them, or can you change brands?
Well, I had InkX Pro in here and just put StarCraft in.
So there you go.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It will be fine. Okay, so let's talk really quickly about some other things that you would need in order to get started. So we did talk about the printer. We talked about the ink and the cartridges. We've talked about blanks. So you need sublimation blanks. You are going to need a heat source. So if you have a large easy press, it will be adequate for a lot of projects. However, if you're going to do larger projects, we do recommend getting like a clamshell press. I didn't bring it out because between it and this, there wasn't room. But a clamshell press, just because it puts pressure on it more evenly.
It's bigger.
It's bigger. And honestly, that clamshell press was less expensive than this easy press. So it's linked in our Amazon store as well. It comes in several different colors. Check it out. So you will need a heat source. And then you will likely need butcher's paper. And this is the only piece that I could find. You want bigger than this. You want bigger than this.
Buy a roll. They have some really great options for rolls on Amazon that you can kind of just rip off what you need.
The reason that you want butcher's paper is because sometimes the ink will kind of seep through the top of your sublimation sheet. Even if you're using sublimation paper, it will still do it.
Okay, can you use wax paper or freezer paper.
No. And you've probably heard us say the wrong thing because on a live, sometimes I say the wrong thing. Butcher paper is what you want. You can't use wax paper or freezer paper because it has a waxy coating on it. And if you heat that, it will stick to your garment or blank. So you don't want that. You want no wax on there.
Butcher's paper. We use white. Normal
Yes.
butcher's paper is like a brown kind of craft.
Yeah.
We usually get white butcher's paper, plain, nothing fancy, because some butcher's paper does have wax on it like freezer paper, so just be careful, but make sure that it doesn't have any
This is the
wax
stuff
on
that comes in the infusible ink packages.
Yeah.
That's why it's this size.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're also going to want some heat resistant tape. Especially if you're doing mugs or tumblers, things that aren't necessarily flat and might move around. I even a lot of times will tape down my things on shirts and blankets because maybe I've prepped it here on my table and then I want to pick it up and stick it on my clamshell press. And then when I do that, it moves around. So you're going to want some heat resistant tape. I also recommend a fun dispenser. The one that is in our Amazon link is really nice because you can put several different, I need to order it. You can put several different rolls on it. So it says the print head may require some maintenance. Do a print head nozzle check. Anytime you replace your ink cartridges, it wants to print out a thing just to make sure that it's right. So you would want to do that.
And yes, guys, butcher's paper and parchment paper are basically the same thing. Interchangeable. Both of those will work totally fine.
As long as it does not have wax on it.
Yeah, no coated.
Yes.
No coated nothing.
And then let's talk about sublimation paper. So when I first started sublimating, I thought you have to have sublimation paper. Clearly, why would they make it if you didn't have to have it? I love this. It's relatively inexpensive. I do appreciate that it comes in an easy, thin, convenient box for us for storage. However, you don't need sublimation paper. We've done some tests. You can just use copy paper. You can use copy paper.
Which is stunning.
It is. Yes. Some recommend the bright white copy paper that you get from Walmart. I just used whatever I had. I have no idea what it was. It worked great. I haven't tried it on mugs, but I've only tried it on fabrics. But I feel like if it's going to transfer over to fabric pretty well, then it would do most things as well. And lots of our members here in the flock have also done this and had really great success. Are there any questions that I'm missing about any of that?
No. But let us know if you want to see some training on it. We would love to make more videos about not having to use sublimation paper. So let me know if that's something you guys are interested in.
We have a member-only video. If you are an Oak and Lamb flock member,
with the test, yeah,
then you can check out that test where I tested the two. Even washed it and dried it so that we could see how they would wash. But anyway, if you want to check that out and you're not a member, click the link that Rachel has shared a couple of times. Become a member. There are 2 payment options for you. You can pay monthly. You can pay annually. If you pay annually, then you essentially get 2 months free, which is a nice little bonus for you all. But it doesn't matter which payment option you choose, you get the same benefits for both. So click the link. Let us know if you have any questions. And if you join today, let me know because I want to give you a shout out.
Yes.
If you join today, I might send you a fun little gift.
Ooh. That's fun.
But it would have to be during the live, and you have to let me know.
Okay.
Anyway.
Belle says Sam's Club has a massive roll of butcher's paper for $20.
We need to order it. We've got to order it.
Yeah.
So let's talk really quickly about what type of files you want to use for sublimation. We here at Oak and Lamb have an entire library of cut files that we add to every single week right now. And most of the files come in PNG and SVG form. Now, if you don't know the difference, PNG is a pixel-based file. It's similar to a JPEG, like your pictures, but a PNG, like a JPEG, you're restricted to size. So if it's not like a full resolution image, the bigger you go, the more grainy and pixelated it's going to be. An SVG is vector-based, which means it is a scalable file. You can make it as big or as little as you want, and it's not going to affect the clarity, which is amazing. When you want to sublimate, you can sublimate using either file. If you are using the SVG file, you would want to flatten it to create a print and cut image with that file. The advantage of a PNG over an SVG sometimes is that you can get textures and gradients and different looks and feels in a PNG that you can't get in an SVG. So for instance, this right here, it is 3 different layers. If I had this part right here, like light gray to dark gray, it was a gradient, light gray to dark gray. Then when I saved it as an SVG, it can only pick up one color. It can only save this layer as one color. So you can't save an SVG with gradients and textures. Hopefully that makes sense. Is that making sense?
To me, yes.
Let me know. Anyway, but you can use both file types, like I said, for sublimation. So you're not limited there. Anything else? Oh, when you are working with the files for sublimation, if you're working on smaller objects, then you can pull it right into Design Space. If you are wanting it, the restriction there is 6.75 by 9.25. So if you want anything bigger than that, you're not going to be able to do that in Design Space. It won't print for you. You're going to need to use another application. Now, what do you use? You can use so many different things. My personal favorite is Illustrator. I love Illustrator. Now you do have to pay for Illustrator, so a lot of people don't like that. You can use Inkscape, which is free, to size your images. And I don't recommend doing any design work in there personally, just because it's so slow and it will be frustrating to you. If you're not familiar with it, I wouldn't want you to get a bad taste in your mouth for designing and for manipulating in Inkscape just because it's slow and a little bit difficult to learn. They're all, honestly, as far as like learnability, I feel like all of those programs are about the same. You can also use Canva, which is, there's a free version and then there's a pro version. And then Affinity Design you can use. There are so many different programs that you can use to pull those files in, size them however big you want, and then print straight from it. So check those out. We'll probably be doing some more education on that a little bit later. Probably be a member-only benefit. Is there anything that I've missed there?
No, but
Okay.
the startup cost. So maybe just talk a little bit, because again, a lot of it will depend on which printer you get, or if you want to buy sublimation paper, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Hold on just a second. Let me pull up these things. So the
I
printer.
think the specific question was how much money do I need to set aside for something like this? So
Depending on what printer you get. I mean, the Sawgrass 5,000 or 500. I can't remember.
5,000.
It depends on what printer you get.
Yeah. The printer's going to be the bulk of your cost, of course.
If I wanted to buy everything that I currently use to start up, provided this is the same price that it was when I purchased it, because I haven't looked, then I would need around $500. That's with that heat press. That's with the clamshell press, the Epson printer, the ink, the cartridges, the tape. That's not including blanks, and paper's pretty cheap, but I wouldn't purchase that necessarily. So around, I would say around $500. Would you think that, Rachel?
I was going to say $400 or $500. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm lost with Inkscape. I like Canva. Yeah, Nikki, Inkscape, I've done some stuff in Inkscape. And when I first started designing, I've said this before, when I first started designing, I actually preferred Inkscape because I felt like the images, like the interface, the user interface was a little bit less scary to me than Illustrator for some reason. However, once I started doing things in Inkscape and I just was having to wait forever because it was so slow, I quickly jumped off the Inkscape train. But just pulling a file in and sizing it, it's more than enough for that. Because if you're not manipulating it all, it's literally just importing the file, sizing it, and printing. It's not a big deal. Well, not inverting it, reversing it, mirroring it.
Mirroring it, yeah.
Your Epson in Canada was around $850. Wow, Shirley.
Terry
Wow.
said this printer right now is $479.
Wow. I got it at Best Buy for $270 something, if I'm remembering correctly. That's crazy.
Those darn prices.
That's
Go on
crazy.
up.
I wanted to pull it up right now. Let me see.
Are y'all doing anything fun this weekend? Let me know.
Hopefully I'm playing in the snow.
What? See, oh gosh.
I mean, I
Hope
love
no
the
one
snow.
needs me because I'll just be huddled up.
You're going to be huddled up whether it snows or not.
With my leaky roof and my dog who hates inclement weather.
So this exact printer on bestbuy.com is $329 right now. So not terrible.
No.
Not terrible.
No? Drop that link.
Okay.
Throw that to them. Just in case.
Let me see. I'll have to make a bit.ly link because I think it's too long.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't care.
Made your job super hard. I'm just sitting over here with my teeth in my mouth, as my dad would say.
Okay, bit.ly. But are there any other questions? I would love to answer them for you. That's pretty much all I have.
You all asked
some amazing questions.
Yeah.
Yes. Here, Epson sub printer. Here's the link. Ours prints 13 by 19. It does. Penny.
Yes.
It does. Okay, yeah, Jennifer said that she just got hers at Staples for $345. Okay. $600 for my ET855 wide format printer. Okay, picked up some sticks on Jazzy's. That's so funny. Oh, is Benny coming to see you? $3.99 on Amazon is what Maria says. Okay. Okay. Anyway, this has been fun. I love how interactive you all are so helpful. I love it. Do we have any new friends here watching for the first time? Because I haven't looked at comments at all. And so I haven't noticed. Keep an eye out on Target. They don't have wide format printer, but I got my Epson 2803 on sale for $200. Kim, that's amazing. That's phenomenal. So Becky, you don't normally tape your designs? No, I do. Yeah, I do normally tape them. Primarily because especially if I'm using the clamshell press, I'll prep it right here, but ours isn't a swing arm. And so you can't really put it on there and then get it situated. So I'll prep it like on the table and then move it. And if it's not taped down, it will move and be a disaster. Rach, what do we have coming out tomorrow for content?
Tomorrow is how to make car decals.
Car decals!
Yes. And then the next day is tips for weeding your vinyl, which all of you people that, if you don't weed on the mat,
you should watch it.
You should watch it because, it might teach you a thing or two. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Why is there so much difference in the clam press price? Do you mean from one press to the next? It's just... it's brand versus brand. I mean, some companies can make it cheaper or don't want as much of a profit. The one that we linked last time I checked was right around $200, which actually is not terrible. Hold on. I gotta remember it's under clam. Yeah, there it is. It is $164.89. So not bad at all. The other ones that are like swing arm or that have the bottom that pull out, you're paying for those features, so it's going to be a little more expensive. Some of them also have some adaptive tools that go with them, like the mug press or a hat press and things like that. So you just pay for those things. But I feel like $164.89 is really, really not that bad. And it's not, the purple is not available right now. There's black, blue, and green currently at that price.
And we had sweet Miss Becky renew her Founding Flock membership today.
Yay, Miss Becky!
If you guys didn't know, if you are a Founding Flock member, you can do that for a couple more weeks.
Yes.
Is get a very, very special price to renew your membership for another year or monthly with us.
Yeah. Amazing. I paid a year ago $4.99. Wanted to do it last year, but never did. But I'll do a car decal this spring. Yes,
car decal. Oh, they're so easy.
We are returning to the office for the first time in 2 years on Monday, so I won't be able to catch lives this often. No.
Oh, Jenny, how are you feeling about that? Yeah. See, when it all happened and my mom was working from home, she's a social butterfly, so she was like clawing the walls. But other people really enjoy their time working from home. So I hope you're not dreading it. I hope you're not.
Kathy McKnight, I'm new. Welcome, Kathy. We are so glad that you found us here at Oakenland. We hope that you have enjoyed this video, and that if you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, that you go and hit subscribe. We'd love to have you here back in our news feed. That's amazing. Evan, yay, I renewed my, yes, I saw that, Evan. When will the renew expire for Founding Flock members? That expires, that price for Founding Flock members will expire April 16th. So you have until April 16th to grab that at that price.
But if you mean like if you've already purchased and you're a Founding Flock member, it will expire on May 31st. Unless you want to renew that.
Yeah, your current active membership, if
Yeah.
you do not renew, will expire May 31st. Yes.
Kathy said, my first time, I'm loving you guys. Kathy, thank you for being here.
Carly.
You're so sweet.
O&L paid $15 just to ship my AirTag. They are crazy amazing. You're welcome. We had to get that too. It was so funny. I was filling out the forms and they were like, is it really a $5? I was like, no, it's less than that. They're like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're shipping it. It's great.
Yeah.
Everything's wonderful.
It's fine. It's good.
Linda, you're so sweet. She gave a very warm welcome to Miss Kathy.
So sweet. Total homebody here. I can spend all day at home with Mr. Gus and be happy. Same. We're homebodies around here.
Same. Evan, did you see the new homebody files that came out on Monday?
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah.
If you have not seen the new cut files, you have to go check them out.
Becky says,
There's one that says, "Ew, people." It's so good.
I hate people, or I hate pants and socializing.
Bras.
Well, no, there's
One
bras
says-
and there's bras and
One says like, "I hate bras and people," and it's so.
and the other is pants and socializing.
I
Yeah.
love it. Perfect.
Sorry, I'm an OG flock number 349. I've been following these ladies for over a year, and it's so worth it to join their membership. Thank you, Becky. That's so sweet. The free site training would be great. The free sites training. Elaborate on that, Patty. What are you considering a site training? Renewed my membership a few days ago, said Sarah. Yeah. The new cut files are so me. Melissa, it's so funny. Because I sort of was like, I feel like I'm making this entire cut file collection just for me and Rachel. I hope other people like it. And when we released it, you all went nuts. And it's the best feeling in the world knowing that people like what you're creating for them. I just made an amazing mug with your cut files and added my own flair. Did a homebody mug and the brain one. That's so
love
fun.
it.
So fun. I just got an email. Hold on. Let's talk about food, says Belle. You know.
The email was from another founding flock, a monthly renewal for us.
Amazing.
I think it was a Miss Kristen. I think it was Miss Kristen.
Yes. I haven't been very active in the chat this morning because I was working a cup for an order, a coaster for another order, and some new molds. Congratulations on those orders.
Absolutely,
That's amazing.
Sarah.
Baby shower next week in the 20th. Yes, we haven't talked about that much. Yeah. Right. My gosh, we're so excited. A lot like 6 hours of your day for this because it will take that long for Rachel to open every present.
Excited is an understatement.
It's so exciting. Mom's
you guys
making a
don't even-
cheesecake.
What?
Mom's making a cheesecake.
Oh, I'm really excited
Yes.
now. You guys have just been. I think there's 3 things on my registry, and I keep having to add more because you all are just buying. My friends and family who are local for my shower had nothing to purchase because
All good.
you all have bought all. Everyone says, "Do you need anything?" And I say, because of the incredible ladies and gentlemen that I am proud to call my flock, I don't need a thing.
Just tell those people they can just donate money.
Money.
Because you need money when you have a baby.
Yeah, you sure do.
You do.
You sure do, Becca. You sure do.
Patricia, that's so sweet. I love you guys. You just make me smile at hearing all you interact. Baby shower, so can't wait. Yes, it's going to be so fun.
Either.
It's going to be so fun.
I can't wait.
Maria says make sure to click the like button. Someone said they had tacos for dinner. I love how we always talk about tacos.
Someone said let's talk about food. Belle said let's talk about food.
Belle is always on board for talking about food. I feel like we could be really good friends with Belle. So my brother, I didn't even tell you, he brought over a ribeye night before last that he had made, Rachel.
Fred and his little green egg.
It's the best steak I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
Honestly.
Wait, a ribeye? It's very fatty.
It wasn't though, because I don't like ribeyes.
Okay, because I can't take a fatty steak.
I'm the same way. I don't like ribeyes.
Okay.
It was not bad. It was cooked perfectly because I like a rare steak.
I like it.
Yeah.
Not mooing, but I like them.
But the flavor on it, oh my gosh. He brought it over and I'd just eaten, so I just had a little bite, and I reheated it last night, and I thought, okay, it's probably going to be a little bit more tough, but it will still be really good. I put it on a taco.
Good? Oh.
It was heaven. I texted him and I was like, Fred, this is the best steak I've ever had. And I've had some good steaks.
How long did it take him to make it in that
I
leg?
didn't ask.
Probably like an obscene amount of hours.
It was really good. Formula and diapers are expensive. Yes, they are.
Belle said once you have kids, you're poor.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, but you don't really care. I mean, you care.
No,
you don't really
but you're
care.
happy. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
What is money if you don't have, you got to have joy. Joy's better.
Going out for Mexican with the hubby for lunch. Can't wait. Jennifer, that sounds amazing.
Oh.
My husband is off today.
And tomorrow.
And tomorrow, because my kids are off. I'm taking tomorrow off if I finish my cut files today. And I may make them take me somewhere good for lunch tomorrow. Not today. We've got too much to do. What? Why are you laughing?
Oh, your mom. She said knock the horns off and put it on my plate. That's how she likes her steaks. Knock the horns off. That's good.
Melissa says not mooing.
Yeah.
Wayne gave me a steak the other day, and I like mine really rare, but he gave it to me the other day, and there was literally blood coming out of it, and I was like,
throw that sucker on there for just a hair longer.
tried it. I want it warmish.
Yeah. If the center's cold and bleeding, there's an issue.
Yes, I am, although I'm watching my circumference. Me too.
Oh, but is that any way to live? I've done the whole
I've been
weight loss
breastfeeding
thing.
for almost 9 straight years now. I'm the family cow.
Carly.
Listen, I've never breastfed because I've never actually birthed children. But I have lots of friends who have, and that is a labor of love. Like, so many props to you.
Yeah.
And I understand, obviously you're good at it. You've done it for 9 years. But I have friends who it has really messed with them emotionally, trying, because it was so hard for them. So
all you
I
hear
can't
mom
imagine.
say is that it's way harder than they anticipated it being. So all you breastfeeding mamas out there are superheroes.
I personally am too selfish. If I ever birthed a child, I would not breastfeed.
Yeah.
A couple of reasons. One, I work full time, so I wouldn't have to pump and do all those things.
The question doesn't bother me. I'm not planning on breastfeeding. I'm going to formula feed. Because of Becca's great points as well. I mean, I think we agree there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to stay gone from work a day longer than I have to. I want to be here with you all. And going on work trips and pumping every couple of hours. If I was a stay-at-home mama, I think I would give it my best college try. But with me being the one that works full-time, and my husband is actually going to be a stay-at-home dad, I just don't think that it's a super great fit for my family. But again, all you guys out there that do it, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My sister does it. Yeah. I mean, my mom did it. It's great. Fed is best,
The best thing about a baby shower is the food. Now Scott and I are going to have to make a baby shower snack to watch. So Kat.
Yes.
I
Make
need to share the shower punch.
The recipe.
Yes.
The recipe.
A charcuterie board is a great idea, Rachel.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
What's your favorite baby shower food?
I've only been to a couple and I've thrown them all. So, when I'm running around, I don't really eat much, but it's all really been like finger foods.
That's what I always do. Finger foods are my favorite foods.
Mine too. You know why too? Because you can get really full without other people judging you with how much you've eaten, because it doesn't look like you've eaten a lot, but really you have. You have. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, goodness.
I worked full time and did it. Jen said, yeah, I mean, we're not saying it's not doable. We're just saying, yeah, that's amazing. That's phenomenal.
You. Absolutely. You have extreme discipline.
For me, honestly. I love to sleep, and so I would want Wayne to share in the nighttime feeding.
Yes.
He loved to feed the kids too, and I know that you can pump, and I know all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
It's just, and here's the thing. I saw this thing, and I loved it. It was this picture. I saw it yesterday. It was a picture of 2 slides that start out like this and then they come together like this. And this one said breastfed baby. This one said bottled fed baby. And at the bottom it said, where they both come together, both pick up old dirty McDonald's fries off the van for and eat them. Or so it was hysterical.
Yes.
It was hee-haw laughing.
Yes.
Do you have any problems with the heat press, pressure, and keeping it even across the press? I sent one back because of this. We don't have any issues with this one, but that's just one that we've used.
Which now there's, oh my gosh, hundreds and thousands of heat presses on the market. So it could just be your press, or honestly, sometimes in the shipment, there's things you can tighten, you know, when you're putting it together. So maybe check on that for sure.
I breastfed all 3 of mine, and I have donated some milk to a friend who adopted an infant. That is so sweet.
Listen, I'm not arguing that it's liquid gold. I'm not arguing that. My sister has put breast milk in, around, on everything. If there's a problem, she just throws breast milk at it, and I'm telling you what, it solves every problem. I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous. I'm amazed at what the female body can do.
Tina said, I had a hysterectomy when my baby was 8 weeks old. I was nursing her, had to take a break for a week, and went right back to it for 9 months. Moved to Cali, and I was active duty Air Force.
Wait, after you had a hysterectomy?
That's amazing.
What?
That's phenomenal. Absolutely amazing.
Super mom right there. That's amazing.
Waiting on money to come in to renew my membership, but it's coming. Yay,
Patty.
Patty, we can't wait.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I wondered how many people would use tax returns, which I still haven't even filed my taxes. That's the joy of being a first-time business owner.
Oh, I tried. I
You
tried.
did.
I
We
went
were-
and tried.
we were not prepared.
Guys, we were.
We were not prepared.
She was like, so do you have such and such
you have
form?
the K1? We're like,
I was like,
what?
We
don't have
need
that.
And I said, let me text my partner.
So then we call our accountant. She's like, yeah, you need that.
And I'm like, I'm such an idiot sitting here at this tax place. And I'm like, Miss Lisa, we do have one of those, but I don't have it now. So she kept all my documents, and she's like, just call me when you get it.
Thank God we have an
I'm
accountant
like,
that knows what
okay.
she's doing.
Right?
Because we file taxes separately, and then we file as a business.
Like
so
personal and then, yes. But, you know, we'll get there.
Anyway, it's a whole thing. It kind of makes me want to cringe. I'm generally, because I normally file my own taxes, but
Same. This is the
being
first
self-employed,
year.
I was like,
Yes.
I'm not doing this.
Yes.
And I normally have them filed before they're actually taking submissions for them. So I normally have a tax refund or return by the first 2 weeks in February or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always did it early too. As soon as I got my W-2s, I would go ahead and do it.
Ramo said, I'm using my tax return to pay for my yearly membership. I love that.
You guys are so sweet, putting that money towards that.
I had 2 babes 13 months apart. I breastfed, pumped, and bottle fed formula, all the things. Fed is best. Crystal, you're right. Fed is best.
Absolutely.
Fed is best.
Absolutely.
Anyway, this has been so fun. Thank you all so much. Make sure that you tune in. We are premiering that video tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. We will be chatting in the live or in the comments. So we'll be there. We will see you.
Yeah.
Let us know if you have any questions.
This has been a fun live. It's been a great one.
It has.
You guys have been awesome.
It has. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend.